Hey, what's up guys? John here. 39% of Americans worry they're unable to pay their bills.
Nearly 2 out of 5 Americans worry that they can't pay their bills.
Nearly 40% of Americans worry most or all of the time that their family income won't be enough to meet expenses.
In 2008, 2009, during the great financial crisis, that period which everyone thought it was like a 1929 style event, that number was only 37%. This is according to CNN. CNN saying 37% worried about paying their bills back then. Now it's 39%. Now the big question is, how is this all possible when they say the job market is booming? Unemployment's only 4.3%.
The Labor Department says the U.S. added 114,000 jobs last month.
The unemployment rate ticked up from 4.1% to 4.3%.
As signs point to a cooling economy.
Consumers are strong. This is the best economy that we've seen in over 50 years.
If you had to describe the U.S. economy, how resilient is it?
It's unbelievable. Its base is booming. It's been booming for a while.
This is what we're all being told. But the more that you look at what's really going on, the more that you'll realize that America is being walked into the biggest period of change that we've ever lived through. I believe over the next 5 years, we will witness more change in this country than what we've seen over the past 100 years. I mean, everything will be changing, from government subsidies to what I believe is possible, a universal basic income. I believe we're going to start seeing virtual reality, augmented reality, AI. We're going to start seeing all of these new things coming forward after and when this all crashes down. Because these companies, these employers, they're going to be trying to reshape and rebuild based on the chaos that's soon coming. And in this video, I'm going to break it down and show you exactly where consumers are, how the government job numbers are coming forward with unemployment, and why I believe we're walking into the ninth inning here of something huge. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate the people about what's really going on in America, in our country. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself what I believe is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth and assets we've ever seen, we'd love to help you if you have any credit issues, late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any issue at all on your credit report. Go to greatcreditfast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free call for tomorrow, and check out our reviews on Trustpilot. Take a look at this. So CNN says 39% of Americans worry they can't pay their bills, up from 37% during the great financial crisis. Bank of America, this is on their website, bankofamerica.com, saying 73% of Gen Z say economic environment has made it more challenging to save. 75% are seeking ways to earn additional income. Now, look at how fast this is growing. In 2022, according to CNBC, 44% of Americans work in a side hustle. Now, it went from 44% to 54% now. This is just a couple days ago. 54% of Americans are working a side hustle. DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, they're trying to generate extra income to offset inflation. And when you start to pay attention to how these job numbers are tailored, you'll realize that we're in a really bad situation. Like, non-farm wage and salary employment includes all full-time and part-time employees. Employed persons are classified as full or part-time workers based on their usual weekly hours at all jobs, regardless of the numbers of hours they are working. They're at work during the reference week, right? So they're everything. You have 2-3 jobs, that's 2-3 full-time workers that are calculating. And this is why it all makes sense. U.S. credit card serious delinquency rates jumped 7% in Q2 2024, the highest since 2011. Since 2022, delinquencies of 90-plus days have more than doubled. At the same time, auto loan delinquencies surged 3%, the highest in 14 years. Currently, there are 600 million credit card accounts and 110 million auto loan accounts in the U.S., according to New York Fed data. That means 42 million credit cards and 3.3 million auto loan accounts are on the brink of default, right? It's the same thing. Stretched consumer delinquency rates for credit card and auto loans pick up. Now, what's fascinating here is this chain of events that we're living through right now with the auto market. In 2021, it didn't matter how much money you made. Money was basically free. You could just go to a dealership. You could put 0% down on a $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 car, and they would just wrap it up in a big loan for you. The average loan to value amount was 125%, meaning the average consumer rolled taxes, tags, fees, everything right into the loan and drove off the lot with an $800, $700 car payment, right? Not including insurance. Now what's unfolding is the used auto market is coming down rapidly and with it, the values, meaning people are underwater. They owe a lot more on their cars than they're currently worth. At the same exact time, it's more expensive to service these cars. It's more expensive to insure these cars. We look at this, auto insurance premiums are revving up again and could surge 22% by year end. This just came out today. And they say a new report published by Insurify, an insurance comparison shopping site, shows the average U.S. rate for full auto insurance surged $2,329 in the first half of 2024. That marks a 15% increase from 2023 and a stunning 48% increase when compared to 2021. By the end of 2024, the cost of coverage is expected to rise further to $2,469 according to the report. So how many people are going to want to hold on to these car loans when they look out front of their house, their apartment, and they say, look, I paid $50K for this car. I see it on cars.com, similar cars for $30K. What am I'm going to pay on this car forever and I'm never going to get my money out of it? It's just a losing proposition? No, I'm just going to give the keys back, right? They're going to start looking for ways in which they can either Uber, Lyft. They're going to, try to do some type of, maybe move to a city, move near a metro. They're going to try to find ways in which they can save money, because if the average American's car payment is $700 a month plus the car insurance, maybe they're in for $1,000 a month plus gas and maintenance, $1,200 a month. How many people? That's like a third of the average person's income in most settings. How many people are going to be able to afford this? They're not going to be able to. We're going to walk into a crisis in the auto market, a major crisis in the auto market. A lot of these lenders are going to be in very big trouble. A lot of the dealerships will be as well. U.S. corporate bankruptcies are soaring above the pre-pandemic era peak, according to the economic alarm bells. I mean, same thing, Equinox. They have a subsidiary called Blink Fitness, just filed for bankruptcy today. You have the delinquency rate on commercial mortgage-backed securities for offices spiked to 8.1% in July, the highest in 11 years. It's just across the board, even Canada. Real estate insolvency in Canada is set to surpass levels of global financial crisis. Now, what's fascinating here is when they said, in 2008, the average consumer was 37%, we're worried about paying their bills. The unemployment rate back then was about 10%, between 9.8 to 10%, in that range. Now they're saying it's 4.3%. So because of how the numbers are calculated, you have to use your imagination. What would an unemployment rate really be if one person had one job, right? It would be way higher. But if it was way higher, what would that ultimately do? It would spread fear and panic in the economy. People would be less confident about real estate. There'd be less taxable income on these properties because property taxes would be falling. You would start to see a lot of money get pulled from the system, and as that happens, there would obviously be chaos unfolding throughout America. If it was calculated how it was in 2008, 2009, we would see a completely different perspective on consumers. I mean, look at where things are right now. They say median household income in the United States in 2019 was $68,700. So they're saying here that it basically picked up $7,000, right? We call it $500 a month, $700 a month, right? In additional income is what they're saying the average consumer has, realized over that period. Yet, the median rent in America was $1,078. This is according to Rent Table. $1,078 for a one-bedroom in 2019. Now, average one-bedroom rent in 2024 is $2,140, which is an extra $1,000 a month just on rent. Forget everything else, right? $1,000 a month. Then you have, U.S. food prices up 25% from 2019 to 2023. You have home insurance up 38%. You have property taxes balloon at their exuberant pandemic-era home price gains, right? It just came out. It's saying that it's up 25% since 2019. So you start to look at this, and you have to ask yourself, you look at fast food, for example. Between 2019 to 2024, the price of medium fry has more than doubled from $1.79 to $4.79. And the price of a Big Mac meal has gone from $5.99 to $12.69. There's some locations selling Big Mac meals for $18. According to a tracker of fastfoodmenuprices.com, a BLT footlong at Subway has gone from $5.50 to $8.49, and a chicken burrito at Chipotle has gone from $6.50 to $10.75, right? So, the average home price in 2019 in America was $258,000. Now they're saying that the average home price is $427,000. So you think about this. Everything has gone up by 40, 40%, 50%, 60% in most cases. You have real wages that picked up $500-600 a month. Now, you ask yourself, what's going to happen when we start to see these layoffs continue to skyrocket? It's going to be a race to the bottom in wages. You see millions and millions of people now, in America that are looking for employment. What we're going to likely see is certain trades. You're going to start seeing wages fall in certain trades. Truckers are going to start seeing increased competition. It's going to be a different landscape for the job market. You have real costs are going to be going through the roof. So what's going to happen? The middle class is going to merge with the lower income class, and it's just going to basically be the have-nots and the have-yachts. I mean, look at this. Tech layoffs crossed 100,000 in July. Intel, Microsoft, Dyson, UKG, and these companies cut thousands of jobs. I mean, more than a quarter of Americans right now are skipping meals, according to Yahoo, Yahoo News. So you look at this, I mean, 17.8% of Americans right now are using buy now, pay later. And buy now, pay later in the last 12 months, including 3.5% are reported using this just for groceries. 37% of adults use it for groceries and report business payments on these loans. 37%. This is a crisis that we're walking into in America. And I believe inside of crisis, they always say, don't let a crisis go to waste. Inside of this crisis that we're going to walk into, we're going to likely see all these new programs and subsidies and ways in which they're going to help solve all these issues that are going to greatly strip away a lot of freedom in America. I believe we're going to likely be walking into, over the next 2 to 5 years, a universal basic income. We're going to be walking into the stimulus programs. I believe were it was kind of a trial, a test. People loved it. Everyone was talking about stimulus. Everyone loved the stimulus check. And you start to look at what that did for America. The stimulus really opened the floodgates to massive, massive excess money printing. You start seeing inflation get out of control. What do you think would happen if we start seeing millions and millions and millions of Americans that are on a UBI, right? We're going to likely see these big corporations taking advantage of this, because these big corporations are going to be able to monetize that UBI through subscription services and all these different products, and they're going to be able to increase rates, and it's just going to continue to be this huge opportunity for companies to capitalize on it. And I believe what we're going to see is just major change. I believe we're walking into it now, and I think coming very, very soon, it's going to be undeniable. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you think we're walking into the greatest wealth transfer in American history over the next 12, 24, 36 months? Let's have a conversation below. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for funding, maybe for your business or to invest in distressed real estate, we'd love to help you. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free call for tomorrow, check out reviews on Trustpilot. Catch you next video.